Hi. So now that you are officially in contract, we have some documents that we have to go over. So I already went over these. This is pretty much what you signed when before we made an offer. But now we're going to go over to our in contract documents, just so you have an idea of what everything that you will be signing. And I'll also go over a few other things that will happen in the next couple days. So right now that we're in contract, we are there's just some compliance documents that we need to fill out. So this is an affiliated business disclosure. I'll open it up for you to review. And this is essentially because I'm a real estate agent with a broker, Coldwell Banker. They are doing some big things. So they own a few companies. Mm. They own a lending company. They own some home insurance companies. They own a title company, um, and they own a few other companies. So this is if we choose to use any of the companies owned by this broker, Coldwell Banker, then this is just an affiliated business agreement arrangement, just saying to you that you acknowledge that Coldwell Banker owns these companies, and these are the charges that you will occur by using these companies. But just so you know, I do not typically use any of the affiliated businesses connected to the broker. I do my own due diligence. I vet the people that I use, and I make sure that anyone who's on my team deserves to be on my team. So typically, none of these companies will ever use from me. Um, Worst case scenario, I'll try to get a quote from the home insurance company because they do have some pretty good rates. But other than that, I typically don't use any of these programs. My partners have been working with my clients for a long time, and we have a great relationship. And I know they're going to get the job done. Um, and then we just have the authorization of settlement. So this document just says that you're giving the brokerage the right to look at your settlement statement. So your settlement statement is what you would get right before closing, and it goes over all of the numbers, how much money you're getting, how much money you are putting in your down payment, all the other fees, everything. This is basically giving the broker the right to view your Alta settlement statement and to hold it for you. You definitely want us to hold your Alta settlement statement because we hold on to it for 3 years by law. And should anything ever happen, you need it for anything in the future, you can always message me and I'll have access to your Alta settlement statement. And that could really, really come in handy for you in the future. So you would just, all of this will already be filled out for you. The only thing that you have to do is go ahead and sign right here. So the next document is the wire fraud consumer disclosure. Now, wire fraud is real, okay? So if anybody asks you to wire any type of information, wire any money, even if it texts you from my number specifically, or the title agent's number, or the lender's number, please call directly and wait till you hear my voice or the title company lady or man's voice or your lender, whoever's asking you for you to wire money. Please call that person and confirm that it's them by talking to them, because these hackers have gotten extremely creative in regard to how they scam people out of money, and it could seem so real. I would hate for you to be a victim wiring a large amount of money and you think you're making a secure investment for a sound future, and you're really just giving money to somebody that lives in their mom basement. I don't want that to be you. So make sure. So this form is just basically explaining that to you. Like, personally call to confirm that it's legitimate. Do not skip this part. And so you'll be signing, just reading that we told you wire fraud is real, and you saw it in writing, and we also underlined some things. So you'll be signing here, and that's pretty much it for all of the documents that you'll sign from us while you're in contract. The next thing I want to go over is your timeline. So things happen really, really quickly. And I want to make sure that you are fully updated every step of the way. We'll do an excellent job of consistently following up with you, letting you know your dates. Lexi, the compliance manager, is definitely always on top of that. But just in case you had a question about anything, you're also going to get an entry folio timeline. Now, this is a different client's timeline, but I'm re-recording this video today, so I'm just going to use their timeline. And as you can see, it has the exact dates that everything may be due. And on top of that, it has a little explanation of every single detail. This is very important because it might be 1 o'clock in the morning and you're like, oh my God, when is the earnest money due? Instead of, feeling like, oh my God, should I message them or anything, you can always just look on your timeline and then also read the little note, and then to see the importance of whatever the date is. So that goes for inspection deadlines. This will tell you about more about the inspection timelines, the appraisal deadline, loan commitment, final walkthrough, and closing day. Everything has a note. So the beauty about this kind of timeline is that it also connects to your calendar. So when you get the email from the timeline, you can actually add the dates to your calendar, whether it's a Google Calendar, iCal, or an Outlook. I mean, I will honestly say that just the way my life is set up, I have to add all important dates to the timeline. So even if you didn't want to go one by one to add every single thing, the most important thing that you should add to your calendar is the earnest money, the inspection deadline, because at this point, the inspection needs to be ordered by this date. So adding that to your calendar, the final walkthrough, that's very important because we got to see that house, and the estimated closing date. By adding these four things to your timeline, you will never be caught, surprised. You can plan in advance, and you just pretty much have a better idea of the most important dates in your transaction. Again, we will be following up with you and telling you and reminding you of stuff, but it's very important that you have it on your calendar as well. So that is about it. The last thing I want to show you is the scheduled inspections. So we can do this for you, but if you choose to do it yourself, I will show you briefly which company we use. So this company is really good because they pretty much do everything in house, and they're really good with giving information on every specific area of inspection. They give you their process so you know exactly the items that they will go over. And then also they have additional inspections. So they have radon, termite, which is the main ones that we order. They also have mold, lead base, and then asbestos. So when if you feel like you just want us to order it really quick for you because you're at work then we can go ahead and we'll fill out the form for you. But if you want to go ahead and schedule your inspections yourself, you would just go to place order, and then you will go through the process of filling in your information right here, and it will go over every single price point for everything. So because this is so long and detailed, it's okay if you just want us to do it. That's fine. And if you also want to use a different company to price out different options, that's fine too. This is just our preferred company, but you do not have to use the one that we suggest. So as you can see, if you book online here, you will probably get a free termite inspection. So make sure you click that option. But in addition to that, you'll go ahead and get your home inspection, and you got to make sure that you select the correct square footage. So if it's over 1,000 square feet, you'll be selecting this one, and so forth. If you want to do radon, and radon is not a mandatory thing, but if you want to do radon, and again, the radon is a toxic gas that's found in the basement. And if you want to learn more about radon, there's a link in your email. There's a link underneath this video in your email, and it leads you right here to tell you everything you need to know about radon. If the house does not have a basement, you don't necessarily need to do a radon test. But if the house does have a basement, I mean, you could still bypass the radon test, and in the future get a radon test probably like every year or 2 years to see if it needs to get mitigated. But if you wanted to save some money up front, you could bypass the radon test and that would be fine. Every in Ohio has radon. Every house in Ohio has radon. So you can for sure expect to have radon in your house. The concern will be the levels of radon. That would be the concern. How high is the radon in your house? So you can definitely plan after closing to go ahead and get a radon test and then go ahead and get a mitigation, especially if we're buying a house as is. If we're not buying a house as is, then yes, definitely get a radon test because we can probably have the seller pay for mitigation. So these are the prices here. This will be $330, and you get a free termite inspection if you just do those two. And if you add on a radon, make sure you select this one, the radon with home inspection online only, because it's only $130. As you can see, it gets a little bit more expensive if you don't select this option. So you would continue to fill out this form and then go ahead and schedule your inspections. You want to make sure that you schedule your inspections as soon as possible because we likely only have a few days to perform inspections. So in order to not make this video too long, you can also click on this video that's going to be right here on the screen. And it'll also give you a walkthrough of everything over here beyond this next button. So again, if you are at work, you're busy, you just don't want to worry about it, you can just let us know, hey, can you schedule our home inspection and termite? We're going to pass on a radon, or we want all 3 inspections. Can you go ahead and schedule? And then we'll do this part for you. And then you'll get emails and follow up from the actual inspector the day of inspection. So that is everything that is going to be happening right now. Again, things happen really quickly. So make sure that you're using this timeline as your Bible, adding things to your calendar. Make sure you're aware of your inspection times when they are scheduled. And then also, we will be following up with you and we will be making sure that you stay updated and informed every step of the way. Talk to you soon.